I'm Anna Vicino, author of Eat Happy 2, and the new Eat Happy Italian. And today, I'm going to show you how to make wild mushroom cauliflower risotto. So we're going to start first getting our onion translucent. So I like to finely chop the onion because we want it to match in size with the cauliflower rice. So let's get the heat going here. There we go. And we're just going to kind of get that going. Let's discuss this right here is mushroom stock. How did you make mushroom stock, Anna? I'll tell you. We reconstituted dried wild mushrooms. I found dried portobello mushrooms at my store. They didn't have any wild mushrooms, so I'm using portobello. Take a cup of boiling water, pour them over, let them sit for a little while. It's going to get this nice, dark, gorgeous color. And we're going to reserve this mushroom stock because it's going to flavor the rest of this dish. And right now our onions are getting nice and sizzly. And we want them to start getting soft. This will take a few minutes. I like the heat at medium-high heat. At this point, we wait. We wait. They're starting to get nice and soft and fragrant. So at this point, we're going to add our sliced, I'm using cremini mushrooms. You can use baby bella, cremini mushrooms, white button mushrooms. It's pretty versatile. And then we're going to add our reconstituted chopped portobellos. When vegetables cook, they release a lot of water and it's going to dilute your seasoning. So you just want to make sure that you keep seasoning as you move along. What I love about this dish is when you can get a sear on the mushrooms. I feel like in my book, a sear on anything makes everything taste better. I'm using a very large flat bottom saute pan. You can use nonstick like I'm using. You can use stainless steel. It's up to you. If you feel like you need to add more olive oil because the vegetables are sticking, that's fine. If you notice here, the mushrooms are starting to wilt, which means they're releasing a little bit of liquid. They're looking good. So now it's time to add a couple cups of the pre-riced cauliflower. I buy the fresh one. You can get it frozen and thaw it out. You're welcome to take a head of cauliflower and grate it on a box grater or put it into a food processor. I am tossing to coat. Tossing in reality is way less violent than it sounds in the cooking instructions. I'm not throwing anything. I'm just kind of mixing everything up nicely so that it doesn't pop out of the pan. And I'm about to season it here. Garlic powder, onion powder. I do about a half a teaspoon of each. And yes, I'm eyeballing it. You know why? Because I can do that. I'm a pro. That is exactly a half a teaspoon of each. And also more salt and pepper. Especially with cauliflower dishes. You gotta season it well. And trust me, if the family's like, cauliflower, and they raise, they snarl at you or they raise an eyebrow because they don't trust that it's going to be delicious. Trust me, this recipe is so good. There we go. Let's get that seasoning mixed in there, and I'm probably going to put even more salt. The idea here is to get the cauliflower cooked. We're not going to cover this dish because we don't want to steam it. When you steam cauliflower, it gets mushy. We don't want mushy. We want it to be al dente. And the only way to do that is to keep stirring it and releasing and letting the liquid evaporate. I think we need to do another round of seasoning as that cauliflower softens. Now we will be finishing this with creme fraiche and with Parmesan. Now when we have Parmesan and creme fraiche, that's like adding more salt to the dish. White wine vinegar, also known as white balsamic vinegar. You're going to hear it sizzle. Ooh, that's nice. The vinegar is going to cut the richness of this dish and give it a brightness that it needs. And now for the fun part. We are going to pour in this liquid. It's going to give it a nice mushroomy taste. If you look on the bottom here, there's a little bit of residue, a little bit of grit from the mushrooms that we've reconstituted. Make sure you don't pour the entire thing in because you don't want to have a gritty dish. We're going to discard that. So let's bring this to a boil. Boil it up. And then we're going to turn the heat down and let it reduce for a few minutes. and then I'll be back with you to finish this dish off. Okay, we're gonna season one last time. Look at this beautiful dark color that we have going on with this risotto. Season one final time, and then we're gonna sprinkle in our fresh herbs. This is what gives it the lovely herbaceous profile that goes so well with the mushrooms. I'm gonna turn the heat off. You can actually remove it from the heat if you think that it's gonna overcook, but I'm gonna leave it on the heat because we're on camera right now, and if we remove it from the heat, I'm going all the way over there. Now, I have got some creme fraiche. You can use cream cheese. Beautiful. Oh, a couple of heaping tablespoons of that, and life is good. Let's get all that out of there. There we go. Oh, I made a mess. I better eat it. Okay, let's fold this in nicely. This is the creamy part of the risotto. We are going to use dairy to replicate the creaminess of it all because we have no starch in this dish. And when you make a risotto, you use arborio rice. We're not using any rice, so we have no starch to give off that creaminess. It's starting to look real good. Oh, it smells incredible. You smell the herbs. You smell the mushrooms. I'm making a mess. And then my favorite part, the cheese. I started to pre-grate this cheese as if I'm going to put it on, which I am, but then I was like, I'm going to grate the cheese on camera. You know why? Because grating cheese on camera it's just satisfying, right? We can just get all feel really good about our choices when we just put extra cheese, more cheese. Grate so much cheese. And you know what? They probably put some cheese over top of it when we serve it too. Oh my God. You can see all those reconstituted portobello mushrooms that are nice and earthy. Plus we've got the herbs, plus we've got the fresh mushrooms. It's just a really well-balanced dish, and that acid in there is gonna make it taste delicious. Time to plate this gorgeous dish. Now, of course, you could top this with grilled chicken, grilled steak sliced up, or just eat it as is. It's delicious. That's a very big serving. Whoever's eating this is gonna be very happy. Let's put some little thyme sprigs on there, shall we? Just to make it fancy, but hold on. Lest we forget, mucho mas cheese. Or I should say, molto formaggio. Let's eat. I need a spoon. Do I pick a dainty bite? No, I don't. Holy. You want to make this, just make this. I mean, first subscribe and like this video and all those things and follow me on social, but then immediately go make this. It is delicious. You will not miss the carbs.